Aaron loved old stories. He spent most of his days in the small-town library, reading books about lost cities, hidden treasures, and ancient civilizations. One bright morning, while the sunlight fell through the dusty windows, he found a thin, yellowed map tucked inside a forgotten book about the Mayans. The map was unusual. It had strange symbols and lines that led into a deep jungle. In the center, a small drawing of a cave glowed faintly on the paper. Next to it, someone had written in neat letters, "Gold that glows like lava." Aaron's heart beat fast. He had heard stories of the legendary Mayan gold, but he had never thought he would see a clue for it. He carefully rolled the map and placed it in his bag. He knew he could not go alone. He needed friends he could trust and who could help him. The first person he thought of was Toma. Toma was clever with machines and tools. He could build almost anything from nothing. Aaron found Toma in his small workshop tinkering with a strange metal gadget. "Look at this," Aaron said, showing him the map. "I think I found something important. Something very old." Toma looked at the map and his eyes grew wide. "This is incredible," he said. "If this is real, we could discover something no one has seen for hundreds of years. But the jungle is dangerous. We need to be careful." "I know," Aaron said, "but I cannot ignore this. I have to see where it leads." Toma nodded and agreed to join him. The next person Aaron thought of was Nari. Nari was skilled at finding paths in the wilderness. She could read the land and track almost anything. Aaron found her near the river where she practiced moving quietly through the trees. "Nari, I need your help," he said. "I found a map to a hidden cave, the Mayan fire cave. It is deep in the jungle and it has gold that glows like lava." Nari examined the map carefully. "This is dangerous," she said, "but the markings show hidden paths. I can help us move safely if we follow the clues." With Toma and Nari ready, the team was formed. They spent the next few days preparing for the journey. They packed ropes, tools, food, water, and tents. Aaron studied the map, trying to understand the strange symbols. Some of the markings looked like warnings, while others seemed to point the way to the cave. Finally, the day came to leave. The sun was bright and the jungle looked alive. Birds sang and a gentle wind moved through the trees. Aaron, Toma, and Nari entered the thick green forest. At first the jungle seemed calm. The trees were tall and the path was covered in soft moss. But as they walked deeper, the sounds of animals and insects grew louder. Strange smells filled the air, and sunlight became scarce under the thick leaves. Aaron held the map in his hands, careful to follow the lines and symbols. He felt a mixture of fear and excitement. "This is it," he said softly. "We are really doing it." After hours of walking, they reached a clearing with huge stone ruins covered in vines. Nari examined the ruins carefully. "These look like old Mayan buildings," she said. "We are on the right path." "The map is accurate," Toma studied the stones. "Some of these blocks are moving slightly," he said. "It looks like the Mayans built secret doors. We must watch carefully." Suddenly, Aaron noticed a faint golden light shining from behind a large stone wall. His heart leapt. Could it be the cave already? He pushed aside the vines and they found a small opening. The light inside flickered like a gentle flame. "Look at that," Aaron whispered. "It is beautiful." Nari shook her head. "We should not rush. The cave might be dangerous. The map warns about traps and tests. We must be ready before we go further." They set up camp near the ruins, careful to stay hidden. That night, around the small fire, they discussed the journey ahead. They shared stories of their past adventures and talked about what the glowing gold might mean. Toma dreamed of discovering new energy sources from the strange crystals that might be inside. Nari imagined maps and symbols that could teach the world more about the Mayans. Aaron thought about history and the joy of seeing a legend come to life. As the fire burned, the golden light from the cave seemed to shine softly in the distance. The jungle was alive with sounds, and the team felt the thrill of the unknown. Tomorrow they would enter the fire cave. Tomorrow they would face the first steps of an adventure that could change everything. Aaron could hardly sleep. He kept thinking about the glowing gold. He imagined the warmth and brightness inside the cave. He imagined how it would feel to hold a piece of history in his hands. But most of all, he imagined the teamwork and courage it would take to reach it. The stars shone above and the jungle whispered secrets. The Mayan fire cave waited quietly, its golden glow promising wonders and challenges. Aaron closed his eyes, ready to begin the journey. The next morning, Aaron, Toma, and Nari packed their supplies and stepped into the jungle. The air was heavy with the scent of wet leaves and earth. Sunlight barely touched the ground through the thick canopy of trees. Birds with bright feathers called to one another from high branches, and distant animal sounds echoed through the forest. Nari led the way, her eyes scanning the ground for signs of hidden paths. "The jungle is tricky," she said. "We need to follow the map and stay alert. One wrong step could take us far from the cave." Aaron followed closely, holding the map in his hands. He traced the lines with his finger, trying to understand the strange symbols. "Some of these markings look like arrows," he said. "Do you think they show the right path?" Toma adjusted the straps of his bag and studied the map. "It is possible, but look at the other symbols. They might be warnings. We have to watch carefully and think before we move forward." As they walked, they reached a large area where the ground was soft and covered in fallen leaves. Nari stopped and knelt down. "Look at these footprints," she said. "They are unusual. Some are small and some are very large. This must be a clue left by someone long ago." Aaron leaned closer. "Do you think it was left by the Mayans?" Nari nodded. "Yes, the pattern seems intentional. They wanted to guide people who were careful and smart. We need to follow them without rushing." The team moved slowly, stepping carefully on rocks and roots. They came across a strange plant with glowing edges. Toma examined it. "This is not normal," he said. "It might be safe, but we should not touch it." The jungle is full of surprises. After walking for a long time, they arrived at a small stream. The water was clear and cool. Aaron knelt down and drank a little, feeling refreshed. "We should rest here for a moment," he said. "Our bodies need water and energy." While they rested, Nari noticed something shiny under a bush. She picked it up and showed it to Aaron. "Look," she said. "This is an old coin. It is not from our time. It must be very old." Toma examined it carefully. "This could be a piece of the past," he said. "It shows we are on the right path. The cave must be nearby if we are finding these clues." After their short rest, they continued deeper into the jungle. The trees grew taller and the shadows became longer. Strange birds flew overhead, their calls loud and unusual. Aaron felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He knew the cave could be close, but the jungle was unpredictable. Suddenly, they heard a rustling sound from above. A group of colorful monkeys swung from the branches, chattering loudly. Nari smiled. "The jungle is full of life," she said. "We are not alone. Every sound is part of this place." The path became steeper and thick vines blocked their way. Toma used a small machete to cut through them. "We have to work together," he said. "One person moves the vines, the other checks the path. Then we can move safely." Hours passed and the jungle grew darker. Aaron noticed strange carvings on some large trees. The symbols were similar to the ones on the map. "Look at this," he said. "It looks like a warning or a sign. Maybe the Mayans wanted to test us." Nari studied the carvings. "They might be reminders," she said. "Be careful, be brave, and do not rush. The cave is not for the careless." The team followed the signs and moved with care. Finally, they reached a narrow valley with a small waterfall. Water fell into a sparkling pool, creating mist that filled the air. The jungle around them seemed quiet, almost magical. "This place is beautiful," Aaron said. "I feel like we are getting closer to something extraordinary." Toma knelt down and examined the rocks near the waterfall. "These rocks are different," he said. "Some have small cracks and some glow slightly in the sunlight. This might be another clue." Nari pointed to a hidden path behind the waterfall. "The map shows a river crossing," she said. "We have to go through here carefully. This might be the way to the cave." The team took a deep breath and stepped through the mist. Water splashed around their feet and the rocks were slippery. Aaron held Toma's hand for balance and Nari guided them with careful steps. Together they crossed safely. Once on the other side, the jungle opened up slightly. They saw tall trees, glowing moss, and flowers with bright colors. The path ahead seemed less dangerous, but the sense of mystery grew stronger. Aaron looked at his friends and smiled. "We are really doing this," he said. "We are following the map and moving closer to the Mayan fire cave." Toma nodded. "The journey is not easy, but we are together. That makes us stronger." Nari pointed to the distance. "I see something ahead," she said. "It looks like stone ruins. The cave might be near them. We need to prepare for the next step." The team felt excitement and courage. The jungle had tested them, but they had moved forward with care, teamwork, and curiosity. The fire cave awaited them, and the glowing gold promised wonders beyond imagination. The adventure was only beginning, and Aaron knew that the jungle had more secrets to reveal. He felt ready for whatever lay ahead, trusting his friends and their combined strength. Areen, Toma, and Nari moved carefully through the bright jungle after passing the waterfall. The path grew narrower and thick roots stretched across the ground like ropes. Each step required attention. The map showed a river ahead, a river that could block their way to the cave. Nari stopped and looked ahead. "The river is wider than I expected," she said. "The map shows a crossing, but it will not be easy." Areen knelt and studied the map. "There are rocks marked here," he said. "If we step carefully, we can cross. But it will take teamwork and focus." Toma unpacked a small bag. "I brought ropes and wooden poles," he said. "We can make a bridge or a path using them. It will help us cross safely." The river roared with clear, fast-moving water. The sunlight made the surface sparkle. But the rocks beneath were slippery and uneven. Areen felt a thrill mixed with fear. He knew the river could be dangerous, but he also knew they had to move forward. Toma and Nari worked together. They arranged fallen logs across the river, securing them with ropes to large stones. Areen helped by testing each log, making sure it would hold their weight. "We must be steady," Nari said. "One wrong step and we could fall. The Mayans made this path difficult for a reason." Areen nodded. He held the rope tightly and stepped onto the first log. It wobbled slightly, but he moved slowly and carefully. Halfway across, he stopped and looked back. Toma and Nari were crossing behind him. "You can do it," Areen called. "One step at a time." Toma reached the middle of the log and steadied himself. "It is strong," he said. "The logs are holding. We just have to move together." Nari moved last. She placed each step carefully, listening to the water below and feeling the vibrations through the log. When she reached the other side, she let out a small laugh. "We made it," she said. "The river is behind us and the cave must be close." Areen smiled, feeling proud. "Teamwork made this possible," he said. "If we were alone, we could not have done it." After crossing, the jungle became even more mysterious. Strange plants with bright colors grew along the path. Some leaves glowed faintly in the shadows, and soft light reflected off small pools of water. Birds with shining feathers flew overhead, as if watching the travelers. Toma stopped to examine a group of glowing stones near the riverbank. "These are unusual," he said. "They are not like normal rocks. Maybe the jungle has hidden energy we do not understand yet." Areen looked at the stones in wonder. "It is beautiful," he said. "Every step we take, we see something new and strange." The Mayans must have known this place was special. As they continued, the path led them to a narrow canyon. The walls were high, covered with moss and tiny flowers. The map showed that the cave entrance was somewhere beyond this canyon. Nari led the way, checking the ground for safe spots. "We have to be careful here," she said. "The canyon is slippery and steep. One mistake could be serious." The team moved slowly, helping each other across uneven rocks and tree roots. Toma used his poles to create small supports when the ground was unstable. Areen held ropes for balance and made sure everyone was steady. Midway through the canyon, they found carvings in the stone walls. Strange shapes and symbols were etched carefully into the rock. Areen traced them with his fingers. "These are like the markings on the map," he said. "The Mayans left these to guide travelers safely. They wanted only those who were careful to succeed." Nari examined the carvings closely. "It is like a puzzle," she said. "They wanted people to think and watch. If we hurry or ignore the clues, we could get lost or hurt." After a long walk through the canyon, they finally reached the edge of a small hill. From here, they could see the jungle stretching in all directions. At the bottom of the hill, partially hidden by trees, a dark opening appeared. A faint golden glow flickered inside. Areen's heart raced. "That must be the cave," he said softly. "The fire cave. The gold is inside, glowing just like the story said." Toma and Nari nodded. "We are very close," Nari said. "But we must rest first. The next step will be inside the cave, and it could be dangerous." The team found a safe spot to sit and eat. They shared small bites of food, drinking water from their flasks. They talked quietly about the journey so far and what might await them inside the cave. "The jungle tested us," Areen said. "The river, the logs, the canyon. Everything was difficult, but we made it together. That gives me courage for what is next." Toma smiled. "We can solve anything if we stay calm and work together. The cave will test us in new ways, but I am ready." Nari looked toward the golden light again. "The Mayans must have wanted people to be brave, careful, and smart. That is what this journey is about. We must respect it and move wisely." As the sun began to set, the jungle grew quiet. The golden glow from the cave became brighter in the dim light. The team prepared their ropes, torches, and tools ready for the next day. They would enter the Mayan fire cave and face the mystery of the glowing gold. Aaron felt excitement and hope. The jungle had challenged them, but it had also shown them beauty, teamwork, and courage. The fire cave awaited, and the adventure was only beginning. The next morning, Aaron, Toma, and Nari woke early. The jungle was calm, with sunlight filtering through the tall trees. Birds called softly, and a gentle wind moved the leaves. The team felt ready. Today they would reach the entrance of the Mayan fire cave. They packed their supplies carefully, checking ropes, torches, and water. Aaron held the map in his hands, studying the symbols that marked the last part of the path. The cave should be near, he said. The map shows a hill, then a clearing, and the entrance hidden behind moss and vines. Nari led the way, moving quickly but carefully. We must stay alert, she said. The jungle is quiet, but that can be dangerous. We do not know what challenges lie ahead. Toma walked close to her, carrying a small toolkit. The map shows strange symbols near the entrance, he said. The Mayans were smart. They may have built traps or puzzles to protect the gold. Aaron felt a thrill of excitement. I have waited for this moment for a long time. The cave is real, and we are almost there. After climbing a small hill, the team reached a clearing. The ground was soft with moss, and small flowers grew in bright colors. Sunlight reflected off the leaves, making the place feel magical. At the edge of the clearing, partially hidden by vines and moss, was a large stone wall. Behind it, a dark opening led into the hill. A faint golden light flickered inside. Aaron gasped. This must be it, he said. The fire cave. Nari stepped forward, examining the entrance carefully. The vines are thick, but I can move them, she said. She pulled the vines aside, revealing more of the stone wall. Carved into the rock were strange symbols that glowed faintly. Toma knelt to study the carvings. These symbols are like the ones on the map, he said. They seem to form a message. The Mayans wanted to protect the cave from careless people. Only those who are careful and wise can enter safely. Aaron read the symbols aloud, trying to understand. It says something about courage, honesty, and respect, he said. We must enter with pure intentions. If we are greedy or careless, the cave may not let us succeed. The team felt a mix of excitement and caution. They had worked together to reach this point, and they knew the journey was not over. Aaron lit a torch, holding it high to see the cave interior. The walls glowed faintly, reflecting the golden light from deeper inside. Be careful, Nari said. The first steps may be tricky. Watch the floor and the walls. There could be uneven stones or hidden holes. Aaron led the way, stepping onto the smooth stone floor. The cave was warm, and a faint hum echoed softly. He felt a strange energy in the air, as if the cave itself was alive. Toma and Nari followed, moving slowly and carefully. The walls were covered in carvings and crystals that reflected the torchlight. Some crystals glowed softly in colors of orange and red, like small pieces of lava. Aaron reached out to touch one, feeling a gentle warmth. This is amazing, he whispered. It is like nothing I have ever seen. Toma examined the crystals closely. These might be part of the reason the gold glows, he said. The Mayans were very clever. They knew how to use natural energy to protect the treasure. As they moved deeper, the golden light became brighter. The cave seemed to pulse with energy, guiding them forward. The team noticed small symbols on the walls that formed patterns. Aaron realized they were like a map inside the cave. We have to follow these patterns, he said. They will lead us safely to the gold. Nari pointed to a narrow path leading downward. The passage is tight, she said. We must move slowly and carefully. One wrong step could be dangerous. The team descended, holding torches high. The walls were warm to the touch, and small drops of water fell from the ceiling. The golden glow grew stronger, casting shadows that danced like fire. Aaron felt a mixture of fear and excitement. He knew they were close to the legendary treasure. After a few minutes, they reached a small chamber. The glow was brighter here, and Aaron could see faint reflections of gold in the distance. The chamber was empty except for the light and the energy that filled the space. This is incredible, Toma said. The cave itself is a treasure. The Mayans built something that no one else has seen. Aaron took a deep breath. We are ready to go further, he said. The gold is inside, and we must be careful. This is only the beginning of what the cave will show us, Nari nodded. We move together, she said. Step by step, we will discover the secret of the glowing gold. The team paused, looking at each other. They felt courage, hope, and respect for the cave. The Mayan fire cave had opened its doors to them, and the adventure was about to reach the next stage. The golden light grew brighter as they stepped forward, ready to discover the treasure hidden deep inside the heart of the cave. Aaron, Toma, and Nari moved deeper into the cave. The golden light grew brighter with every step, casting long shadows on the walls. The air was warm, and the sound of dripping water echoed softly. The cave seemed alive, almost breathing, as if it wanted to guide them forward. Aaron held his torch high, scanning the walls. Tiny crystals glowed like fire, and the reflections danced across the stone floor. "I can feel the energy here," he whispered. The Mayans must have known this place was special. Toma knelt to examine the rocks. "The crystals seem to be connected to the gold," he said. "They might be creating the glow or storing energy. We need to be careful. This is not ordinary treasure." Nari led the way through a narrow passage. She pointed to carvings on the walls. "These symbols show a warning," she said. "They tell us to be brave but not greedy. The cave tests those who enter. We must respect it." The passage opened into a large chamber. Aaron's eyes widened. Before them lay gold that glowed like molten lava. It was bright, warm, and alive with light, yet solid to the touch. The walls of the chamber reflected the gold, making the entire space shine like the sun. "It is beautiful," Aaron said. "I have never seen anything like this. It feels alive." Toma carefully examined a small piece of gold that had fallen to the ground. "The glow is unusual," he said. "It is not just light. It is energy. If we study it, we could learn new ways to use it for the world." Nari walked slowly around the chamber. "The Mayans must have created this place to protect the treasure," she said. "They wanted people to understand its value, not just take it. It is a symbol of knowledge, courage, and respect." Aaron stepped closer to the largest piece of gold. The heat from it was gentle but noticeable. He reached out his hand and felt the warmth. It did not burn, but it seemed to welcome him. He could feel a connection between the gold and the cave itself. Toma picked up a small crystal from the wall. "These crystals are like the veins of the cave," he said. "They are connected to the gold. They might control the glow or the energy." The Mayans understood nature in ways we do not yet fully understand. The team explored the chamber carefully. The floor was uneven, and small streams of water ran through cracks in the rocks. Aaron noticed patterns in the walls that seemed to form maps or instructions. "These carvings are clever," he said. "They show how to move safely through the chamber. The gold is here to teach us, not just to shine." Nari pointed to a section of the wall where the gold glowed brighter. "It looks like it is calling us forward," she said. "We must pay attention to the path and the symbols. They will guide us." As they moved closer, Aaron realized the cave seemed to respond to their presence. The golden light pulsed softly with each step. The warmth increased slightly, and the hum of the cave grew louder like a heartbeat. He felt awe and respect. This was more than treasure. It was a living part of history and nature. Toma carefully took a small piece of gold from the edge of the chamber. "We only take a sample," he said. "This is enough to study and share with the world. We must not disturb the rest." "The cave deserves respect," Nari nodded. "The Mayans protected this gold for a reason," she said. "We must honor their intention and leave most of it untouched. The knowledge and the experience are more important than taking it all." Aaron smiled. "We are learning so much from this place," he said. "It is teaching us courage, teamwork, and respect. That is the real treasure." They spent time examining the crystals and the gold. Toma took careful notes and made small sketches, recording what they had discovered. Nari studied the symbols on the walls and wrote down their meanings. Aaron observed the way the light moved and the patterns in the chamber. After a while, the team sat together near the glowing gold. They felt excitement, wonder, and a deep connection to the history of the Mayans. "This is unforgettable," Aaron said. "We came for treasure, but we found something even greater. Knowledge, teamwork, and courage." The golden light seemed to glow brighter, as if acknowledging their understanding. The cave had tested them, and they had moved with care and respect. The glow of the gold filled the chamber with warmth and hope, reminding them that the world was full of wonders waiting to be discovered. Aaron, Toma, and Nari knew that the journey was not over. The cave held more mysteries, puzzles, and challenges ahead. But in this moment, they felt proud and inspired. They had reached the legendary gold, learned its lessons, and respected its power. As they prepared to move deeper into the cave, the golden glow continued to shine. The Mayan fire cave had revealed its treasure and its wisdom. and the team felt ready for whatever awaited them next. After marveling at the glowing gold, Aaron, Toma, and Nari moved deeper into the cave. The golden light from the chamber behind them faded slightly, leaving only the soft glow of the crystals embedded in the walls. The passage ahead narrowed and twisted as if the cave itself wanted to test them. Aaron held his torch high. "We need to be careful," he said. "The Mayans left this path for a reason. It might be tricky or dangerous." Toma examined the walls as they walked. "The crystals here are smaller, but their patterns are interesting," he said. "They seem to point in certain directions. Maybe they are part of a puzzle we have to solve." Nari led the way, moving slowly. "The symbols on the walls are different from before," she said. "These are warnings and instructions. We need to think and work together. The cave is testing us." The team soon reached a large chamber. In the center, there was a stone platform with 5 carved tiles. Each tile had a symbol. The golden light reflected off the walls, making the chamber glow softly. Aaron stepped closer to study the tiles. "These symbols look like parts of a story," he said. "The Mayans may have built a puzzle. We need to place something or step in a certain order." Toma knelt and examined the tiles carefully. "I see grooves in each tile," he said. "Maybe something needs to fit in them. We should look around the chamber for clues." Nari walked along the walls, examining the carvings. "The walls tell a story about courage and wisdom," she said. "It looks like the order matters. We must follow the story to solve the puzzle." Aaron pointed to one of the carvings. "It shows a hand touching a symbol," he said. "Maybe we need to step on the tiles in the right order." The Mayans wanted to test our intelligence and teamwork. The team worked together. Aaron read the symbols. Toma studied the shapes on the tiles, and Nari matched the carvings to the tiles. After a few tries, they found the correct order. When they stepped on the last tile, the ground shook slightly, and a hidden door opened in the wall. "Good work," Nari said with a smile. "We solved the puzzle. The cave is guiding us forward." They stepped through the hidden door and entered another passage. The walls here were lined with crystals that glowed in soft orange and red colors. Small streams of water ran along the floor, and the air felt warmer. Aaron felt a sense of wonder. The cave seemed to recognize their success. As they moved forward, they reached a narrow bridge made of stone that crossed a small underground chasm. The bridge had no railings, and the gap below was deep. Toma tested the first step. "It is solid, but we need to be careful," he said. Aaron took the lead, stepping slowly and steadily. Nari followed closely, helping guide him. Toma crossed last, making sure the bridge was safe for everyone. When they reached the other side, they breathed sighs of relief. "The cave is challenging us, but we are working well together," Aaron said. "Each test makes us stronger and smarter." The passage led to a chamber filled with glowing crystals. The light reflected in patterns on the walls, creating images of animals, plants, and people. Nari noticed that the crystals were arranged in shapes that matched the carvings on the walls. "The cave is teaching us something," she said. "The Mayans wanted people to observe, think, and understand. This is more than treasure. It is knowledge." Toma studied the patterns. "If we follow the sequences of the crystals, it might open another passage," he said. "We need to pay attention to details." The Mayans were clever builders. The team worked together again. They moved crystals slightly, aligned them with the carvings, and pressed hidden switches in the walls. Slowly, a soft rumble echoed through the chamber, and a new door opened, revealing a passage leading even deeper into the cave. Aaron stepped forward. "Every challenge shows us how smart, brave, and careful we can be," he said. "The cave is not just testing our skills. It is teaching us lessons about teamwork and respect." Nari nodded. "We must continue to pay attention and help each other," she said. The Mayans wanted people to understand that courage and wisdom are as valuable as gold. The passage led them to a wide hall with a high ceiling. The golden light from the crystals illuminated carvings on the walls that told stories of the Mayan people. The team paused to admire the art and read the symbols. Each story showed lessons about bravery, kindness, and intelligence. "This is amazing," Aaron said. "The Mayans left knowledge here to teach the world, not just treasure to take." Toma and Nari agreed. "We have learned a lot from this journey so far," Nari said. "The cave tests us, but it also inspires us. We are ready for whatever comes next." Aaron smiled. "We have passed the challenges so far, but I feel the final part of the cave is close. The glowing gold is just the beginning. The real treasure is the knowledge and courage we carry with us." The team moved forward together, ready for the last chamber of the cave. The golden light ahead grew brighter, promising more wonders, discoveries, and lessons. The Mayan fire cave had tested them, and they had proven themselves worthy of its secrets. Aaron, Toma, and Nari stepped carefully through the final passage of the cave. The golden light from the lava-like gold grew stronger, reflecting off the walls and filling the chamber with warmth. The team felt a sense of accomplishment. They had passed every test, solved every puzzle, and discovered the legendary treasure. Aaron approached the glowing gold, holding a small sample they had decided to take. "We will study this and share the knowledge responsibly," he said. "But the cave itself is the true treasure. Everything we have learned here is more valuable than the gold alone." Toma examined the crystals that pulsed softly around the chamber. "The energy here is incredible," he said. "It could inspire new discoveries for the world. The Mayans left us a gift, not just treasure. They wanted people to learn, to be wise, and to work together." Nari walked slowly along the walls, touching the carvings and observing the symbols. "These stories, the lessons, the tests, they show the Mayans valued courage, intelligence, and respect," she said. "We must carry these lessons with us when we leave the cave." The team paused to look around the chamber one last time. The golden glow filled the space like sunlight, and the soft hum of the cave echoed gently in their ears. Aaron felt a deep connection to the history of the Mayan people. "We are part of their story now," he said. "Their wisdom and courage live on through us." Slowly, they turned to leave the cave. The path back was easier now that they knew the patterns and the puzzles. The crystals guided them, and the symbols on the walls seemed to nod, acknowledging their careful steps. Each step reminded them of the lessons they had learned: teamwork, patience, observation, and respect for the past. When they reached the cave entrance, sunlight poured into the opening. The jungle outside seemed alive and welcoming. Birds sang loudly, and the warm air felt fresh on their faces. The golden light from the cave remained faintly behind them, like a promise that the knowledge they had gained would always shine. Aaron looked at Toma and Nari. "We did it," he said softly. "The cave trusted us, and we respected it. That is what makes this journey special." Toma smiled. "Every challenge taught us something," he said. "The river, the puzzles, the narrow paths, they were not just tests. They prepared us to understand the treasure fully." Nari nodded. "And we learned to work together," she said. "Alone, none of us could have completed this journey. The Mayans designed the cave for teamwork as much as wisdom." The team walked through the jungle toward their campsite. They felt lighter, happier, and proud. The journey back was calm. The jungle seemed less mysterious and more like a friend. The birds flew overhead. The leaves swayed gently, and the sun lit the path ahead. At the campsite, they packed their supplies and rested briefly. Aaron looked at the map one last time. "This map guided us, but the true guide was our teamwork and respect for the cave," he said. "The lessons we learned are more important than any treasure we could take." Toma carefully stored the small sample of gold and crystals. "This is enough to study," he said. "We will use it to help people understand the energy and history, not to keep it hidden or for selfish reasons." Nari smiled. "The world will benefit from what we learned here," she said. "And the Mayans' wisdom will continue to inspire people who are brave and respectful." The journey back through the jungle was filled with quiet conversation. They talked about the lessons of the cave, the puzzles, the glowing gold, and the stories carved into the walls. Each step reminded them that human curiosity, courage, and cooperation could achieve extraordinary things. When they finally reached the edge of the jungle and saw their town in the distance, Aaron felt a warm glow inside. "We have brought back more than gold," he said. "We have brought back knowledge, respect, and courage. That is what makes humans capable of greatness." Toma and Nari agreed. "The Mayan fire cave tested us, but it also showed us what humans can do when we work together," Toma said. Nari looked at the horizon. "We will share this story with the world," she said. "Not just about the treasure, but about how teamwork, intelligence, and courage can achieve wonders." As the sun set, the team walked into their town. The adventure in the jungle and the cave had changed them. They had discovered gold that glowed like lava, but more importantly, they had discovered the strength of human curiosity, respect, and teamwork. The glowing gold, the crystals, and the lessons from the cave became a symbol of hope and inspiration. People learned that exploring, observing, and working together could unlock amazing discoveries. Arin, Toma, and Nari knew that the story of the Mayan fire cave was only the beginning. The world was full of mysteries waiting to be discovered by those who were brave, careful, and willing to learn. The Mayan fire cave had shared its secrets, and humanity had proven that courage, respect, and teamwork could shine brighter than any treasure. The adventure had ended, but its lessons would live on forever.